Hello everybody, I'm back for another video and Elvis is about to destroy my tripod. I'm here with a bit of a mixed video today. I've got some new projects. It probably might be a long one, so grab a snack and a drink if that's something that you need right now. But I'm Julieanne. Hi. Probably should have said that up front, but I am here. I have some books that I got, a little bit of a haul. I got some fibre that I got for Tour de Fleece, which is coming up next month. And I have 3 new projects this week, one of which I've already finished, but it is a relatively small one, so it's not really anything to brag about. We probably will have Elvis cameos in this one because he's a bit obsessed with the fibre that I got. You can probably hear him in the background, potentially, hopefully not. I have got my microphone on. I found his antler yesterday. It had gotten lost, so I found it. So he's back at his antler today. I have really nothing to catch you guys up on personally. Everything's pretty quiet at the minute. I am getting a little bit of the sads though. I think I need to get some more vitamin D into me, potentially go out when there is some sun, but other than that, I think I'm doing okay. So perhaps we can start with some projects that I've been working on. These are 3 new projects that I have cast on this week, one of which, like I said, is finished, and let's start with that one. We'll go with the FOs. It's a hat. It was not a very big project. I've still got a stitch marker in it. But this is the Waffle Stitch hat, and I can't actually remember who this is by. Her name is Davina, is the designer's name. I can't remember what Sheep and something, I think, is what she designs under. I could be getting completely confused because I've looked at so many patterns over the last week because of the 2 other projects that I have to show you. But this is, yes, it's a waffle stitch hat as the name suggests. So it has not had a block yet. I only finished it last night. And I made the large size with the extra slouchiness. And I used some Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. So this is the same yarn that I used for my weekender sweater. So when you finally get to see my weekender sweater, that is the exact same yarn. So this is what was left over. It's sort of a nice gentle mild dove colour. It's called Dove Heather. And I think the only thing I probably did differently to the pattern was in the crown decreases here, they actually get to a point where they just knit around, whereas I continued in the sort of waffle stitch pattern all the way through to the end. But yeah, this is a pretty fun knit. It is a free pattern. It's available for free on the website, which I'll put a link to down in the description. And it also is a paid for pattern if you want a properly formatted sort of PDF pattern. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I probably won't, should I put it on? I might mess up my hair. I did do my hair. I actually put a little bit of makeup on today as well, so you guys should feel really special because I don't do that very often. But yeah, so it's a little bit slouchy at the back, which is what I want because I don't feel like I look good in beanies, like the real tight watch cap type beanies. So I usually go for something with a little bit more slouch in it. You can see I've got plenty of it here. When I put it on last night to show Simon, I sort of felt that potentially I could have done without the extra 1/2 inch for the extra slouchiness. But you know, it's in there now. I'm not going to rip it back. So this is basically, I had to make a hat. I've got another one on the needles as well, and I don't know what I did with it. I tidied up in the lounge room yesterday, so I've actually lost my other project, but it's probably in my yarn fortress. I needed hats because I've been doing training with Elvis in the mornings, and obviously it's winter here in Australia, so it's been quite cool. And we've had a lot of wind lately, lots and lots of wind. So I get really sore ears. I don't know if you guys are the same, but when I've got lots of cold air blowing into my ears, I get really sore ears. So I wanted to make myself some hats so that I could cover my ears a little bit, keep the top of my head warm while I'm out doing training with Elvis, because I'm fed up with with him dragging me around when we go for walks. So I'm actually teaching him how to do leash. Guys, I can't talk. That's not that different to normal. Loose lead walking is what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to teach him that, and he's actually doing quite well, but only to the point that we get out to the street. So I live in like a unit complex. So I have been walking him backwards and forwards out in the car park. Yeah, he's getting good, But yeah, we've got quite a ways to go to get him to 100% loose lead walking. But I've been out in the cold in the mornings with a lot of wind, so I needed hats. And I do have hats, but we've got that bed, you know, the beds with the drawers underneath. It's like from IKEA, but our bed head blocks one of the drawers closer to obviously the bed head. And all my hats are packed away in that drawer, so we actually have to like take the mattress off or move the whole bed out to be able to access that. And I just haven't got round to it. Can't be bothered. Let's just knit a new hat. So I'm knitting 2 new hats. The other one, like I said, lost it, don't know where it is. We'll talk about that on another day. But yeah, this is the waffle stitch hat and I'm pretty happy with it. And I've still got quite a bit. I've got a ball and a bit of this yarn still left, so there might be another hat or something in the future out of this yarn. But for now, we will pull it off because it's not windy and cold in the house. Okay, 2 more projects. These are both sweaters. So one is not actually too far in. I have done the collar. So this was really unusual. This is the Need More sweater, I believe is what it's called. And basically the reason that I cast on these 2 sweaters is because I recently got a new yarn order in. I ordered my Advent yarn in so I can start dyeing for the Advent. I wanted to try a couple of new bases. So this is one of the new bases that I'm looking at, you know, putting in the shop potentially. It's very soft. It's very nice. It's a 100% merino. The only 100% merino that I currently have bases in the shop is my singles. So this is actually a plied yarn for people who don't really like singles. So this is a three ply fingering weight. It was really unusual beginning because you cast on your collar and you knit it in the round, obviously like normal. But then you bind it off with the sewn tubular bind off. So it's probably going to be very hard for you to see. I've got bits everywhere. So you might be able to see there that it's like a tubular bind off. So yeah, you do the sewn tubular bind off and then you pick up your cast on edge and knit down from that. So, which I thought was such a unique kind of way to start. Like rather than doing an actual tubular cast on and knitting down, you do the tubular cast off and pick up and knit down. Apparently, according to the pattern, it gives a more, a more reinforced, I think is what they say, reinforced neckline by doing it that way. Possibly kind of see there where I've picked up along the cast on edge. So this is, obviously, it's a new test base for my shop. This is my rosewood colorway, which I'm kind of obsessed with. So I thought I would really like a burgundy colored sweater. So it's got really unusual increases in this. It basically makes it look like machine increases or decreases, probably. Makes them look like, yeah, machine decreases, I would say. But because it's knit top down, it's obviously increased. It's like it's a raglan, slaglan, I think they call it, because or something like that, because it's a saddle shoulder combined with a raglan. So it's a really unusual sort of looking shoulder. I haven't gotten very far because I was trying to do this late at night and was getting confused, skipping backwards and forwards in the pattern. But you can kind of see just here and here, it gives this, if I can get rid of my cable, kind of gives this look of decreases. It's probably really hard to see. You probably won't be able to see that really well until I'm further along in the project and you can actually see it. But I'm probably going to have to print this one out because I'm finding the pattern a little bit hard to follow. It's just not very intuitive with how my brain works. So, and it's unusual techniques that I haven't seen before. So I need to keep referring back to another page and then I get lost and then I don't know where I'm up to in the pattern. Yeah, this is probably going to be a pattern that I'll actually have to print out, which is pretty rare. I don't usually print out patterns. I usually work off my laptop the whole time. This is the Need More sweater. And the last project I'll show you today. Now this yarn is something I've been thinking about for a really long time, is trying some boucle yarn. So I got this 100% merino boucle yarn, a colorway that I was using, if you remember my the Go-Go Dynamo shawl, which I haven't even finished clue 2, I don't think, of that. Eventually I'll get around to it. But there was a colourway in that I dyed called Kismet, and I loved the colourway, and I could not find the recipe for it, which is so frustrating when you make a colourway that you really like and then you can't replicate it because you didn't write down the recipe. So I thought with this one I would try and replicate the Kismet colourway. I haven't quite got it, but I think I'm on the right track. But anyway, so I've dyed up some of this to make a sweater, and I'm actually enjoying the fabric that's coming out. So I'll show you a little bit. It's super squishy. This is a rolled, like a folded collar where I knit together my live stitches with my cast on edge. So it's a rolled collar, which is super squishy. And then it's like, it actually has sort of rib patterning. You can kind of see it. I don't know how well it's going to show up in the finished sweater, but I sort of thought some sort of textural design would be good with this sort of teddy bear fluffiness. So it kind of is giving a bit of the teddy bear kind of feel. It's not exactly the same as like a teddy bear jacket that you would get ready to wear, but it's a very similar feel. So I'm kind of in two minds about this yarn, whether I'll get it again for the shop. If you guys are interested in it, of course I will, you know, get it in and dye it if you guys are interested. Because it's not the easiest thing to knit. I'm finding that I'm getting my needles, and they're not even the sharpest needles that I have. These are Knit Pros or potentially Knit Picks. I think they're the same thing. So these are actually relatively blunt needles as far as I work with, because I prefer like higher sharp. So I like a really sharp needle. But these are relatively blunt, and I'm still having issues stabbing through the loops. It's probably very hard to see because this is such fine yarn. If we can get it to focus, you can kind of see those fluffy loops on the outside of the yarn that creates like the boucle effect. Yeah, I'm stabbing through those little loops as I'm knitting around. So I'm finding it a bit hard because sometimes when you stab through those loops, it sort of, it tends to be on this next stitch over, that you go to knit one stitch, but you'll get into the second stitch loop, which is then creating tight portions, and I'm struggling a little bit with it. So I don't know how enjoyable the knitting experience is going to be, because I do knit relatively quick, like stockinette in the round. It's not the quickest, but I'm finding this very slow to knit because I'm trying to be really careful with picking up the stitches properly, trying not to split into those little loops. It's kind of possibly not going to end up in the shop because, yeah, I'm loving the fabric. Like I said, I'm loving the fabric that's coming out of it, but I'm just not really adoring the knitting process with it. Whereas that other, the merino that I got, it's actually really velvety feeling. It's really lovely feeling. It's very soft, very velvety feeling. Whereas this is lovely and squishy, and I think it's going to make an awesome sweater. It's just not the best, like I said, the best knitting experience. So perhaps we'll leave it at that. But yeah, if you guys are interested in trying it, I could probably dye up the rest of the bag that I bought. I only bought 1 kilo, and chucking it in the shop, and maybe you guys can try it. Or if you particularly want to try it, give me a message. I think my email's down somewhere. You can find me on Instagram. So yeah, it's a bit of a learning experience. You know, you never know until you try. So that's all the projects that I've kind of been working on this week. Next up, I thought I would share one of my hauls that I got this week, and it is some books. I did share on Instagram. I put it on my story that I got a delivery of books this week, and I got 4 books in total. One of them's a novella, which I had recently borrowed from the library and adored. So I picked that up. They happened to have it at the same place that I was getting these books from. But I also thought, well, the ones that are relevant to our channel here and our discussion are craft books. So these are all machine knitting books, because these are ones that I have borrowed two of the three here from our local library service, and I thought they were very useful, and I got a lot of information from them, and I thought they would be a good addition to my own book library. The first one I have is Fair Isle by Nick Corrigan, and basically it is a lot about punch cards and knitting Fair Isle knits. Obviously, there's a lot of cool information and patterns in here, you know, stuff like float management and weaving in ends on two colour knitting, decreasing shaping and things like that in two colour knitting, and she's got punch card patterns in here as well. And yeah, I just had a really good time flicking through this book. There's your punch card sort of patterns. So this is what punch cards look like for punch card knitting machines. So yeah, I've had a good time looking through this one, so I enjoyed that, so I picked that up. The other one that I had before from the library is Discovering Machine Knitting. So if you are interested in learning to machine knit, I would definitely recommend this book. This one's really good. This is by Candy Diamond. I believe her handle on Instagram is Knit and Destroy. So yeah, this is a super, super info-packed book about learning to machine knit, different cast-ons, bind-offs, weaving in ends, colour work, all that kind of thing in this book. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one if you are interested in learning machine knitting. There's also some, what do you call it, might say on here, designer profiles in there as well, so that she has interviewed different people who do work with knitting machines in their design process. So that's a really good one. And the last one, this was actually the book that started it all. So there is a YouTube channel called Knitology 1x1, 1x1, like 1x1, like rib. She does a lot of lace sort of knitting and different things. So once I heard that she had actually written a book, I really wanted to grab this one. And I found this I got these all on, I think it was called Blackwell Books. It was in the UK. And this book was the one that I found first, and I was just going to order this one, and then I realised that the other books were available on that same website, so I grabbed all three of them. So yeah, this one's about all sorts of different you know, lace sort of knitting patterns that can be done on the machine. So again, pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with my little book haul. So if you're into knitting machines, any of those books could be something that you might be interested in. So I thought I would share. All right, so let's get on to some fibre. I am going to be doing something a little bit different this year for Tour de Fleece. I don't know if I spun last year. I think it was the year before that I did spin with Tour de Fleece, but I thought it would be fun this year to actually do a little bit of a live stream every day of the Tour de Fleece so that I could do some spinning. We can chat. I just thought it would be fun. I don't know how it's all gonna work out. I've never done, I think I've done a live episode on the YouTube channel, but I haven't done anything on like Instagram and stuff like that. So I don't know how it's all gonna work or where I'm gonna do it. It probably will be on YouTube, but it may be on YouTube and then get shared to Instagram. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. If you have any suggestions of where you would like me to primarily focus on getting it, because if people are interested mostly on Instagram to watch it there, I'll go live on Instagram. If you're more interested on YouTube, please let me know, and I will, obviously we're on YouTube now, and I will do it on YouTube, but I will see what everybody says. If you use Instagram more, it's easier for you to access Instagram to watch the live streams, then I can do it there, or I can do it here on YouTube, as I said. But in preparation, I have some fibre. I have quite a bit of fibre, but it is all packed away on a pallet. So I needed to get some more fibre. Now, 2 of these parcels I have already opened, and 1 I have not yet. So we will be opening it up together on this episode. Oh, let me adjust myself. I slept really badly last night. My back really hurts. So not that I can see that sitting with my legs tucked up underneath me on the couch is any better, but that's where we are. So Elvis might join us with this portion because he is obsessed with all of this fibre every time I have gotten it out before now. I don't know whether he can smell the sheepiness on it or the people that it came from, but he is pretty obsessed with it. So I've got 3 parcels down at my feet, so I might grab one of them. I'll grab the first one I got. So I got this from Kathy's Fibres. So Kathy is relatively local to me. She's up in the hills, but she's in South Australia, you know, close to Adelaide. The hills, you know, aren't very far from here. We can be there in half an hour, 40 minutes. But she's from Lovebird, so I'm going to try not to crinkle too much. Perhaps I will stop talking, do the crinkling, and then then come back to you guys. So I've got 4 lots of fibre from each of these 3 places. So I guess I will just go through and show you what I got. So this was one of Kathy's limited editions, I believe, because this is Polworth. It's Wirianda maybe, Polworth, and the colourway is called Stormy Horizon. So this is lovely and soft, and I really like this one. Like the navy and burgundy is kind of my jam. Like I like navy because like my favourite colour is pink, and then burgundy obviously is kind of a very nice complement to pink. And then I find I like navy with pink a lot, and then maybe a little bit of sage green. So that's kind of my favourite, even though I don't really like green. Sage green is actually one I do enjoy. Yeah, navy and burgundy and purple, totally my jam. So that is number 1. This was another limited edition one, I believe, because it is sparkly. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Oh yes, you can see the sparkle in that one. So this one I think is called Persephone. Yes, I was right. So this is Merino and Sparkle, and the colourway is called Persephone. So again, pink, purple, navy blue. This next one is not so obvious. So this I think is a regular colourway of Kathy's. So Sugared Almonds is what this one is called. And I've seen this one on her website before, and I've always been kind of intrigued by it. But again, it's not really the colours that I would normally gravitate to, like that soft kind of baby blue. And you've got a little bit of the sort of sagey colour because of the orange mixing with the blue. But orange is actually coming out to be... Pink and orange is actually becoming one of my favourite colour combinations lately. So... yeah, keep an eye out for that, like that sweater that Kismet colorway. But yeah, so I saw these like sort of rusty orange I really liked. It's just something about this spoke to me, so I got it. And finally from Kathy, I got this one, which is, I don't know how exactly it is pronounced, but I always pronounce it Naruce, but it's Naruce, Naruce. I'm not sure. But this is a colourway that I have actually worked with before. I have spun this colourway. I think I put it up in my shop and sold it years ago. The yarn that I actually created from this colourway. But yeah, I just really like the way those colours mix together. So I haven't really got plans for how I'm going to spin any of this stuff. Some of it might just be like a regular 2-ply that I then ply back on itself, or one of my favourite techniques is fractal spinning. So I may go back to doing some fractal on these, but I guess that remains to be seen. But that is my order from Kathy's Fibres. So the second parcel that I got is from Made in Mo. If I can get it to stop focusing on me. There we go. So this one is merino, and the colourway is orchid. So as you can see, pink and yellow makes orange. So I'm really crushing on this colour combination at the moment. I just love it. So that is the first one from Made in Mo. Next up is Protea. These are all merino in this parcel. So this one's called Protea. Looks like Elvis is going to desert us. He's not coming to see us. This one, I believe, is Unicorn Princess. Yep. And finally, this one. This one's called Aurora Australis, and I really kind of wish I'd bought more of this one. I don't know if it's one of their repeatable colorways or not, but I got this and I went, oh, that is so pretty. It's looking a little bit washed out on my viewfinder, but yeah, it's just so pretty. I really, really loved this one. So maybe one day in the future I'll be able to get some more. I've kind of spent all the money that I'm allowed to spend at the minute on all of this fibre. So that is made in Mo. And finally, I got a parcel from Fibre Arts Shed. I hadn't actually heard of them previously until I asked on Instagram for your recommendations on fibre. So, yeah. Oh, looks like we've got a bit poking out the bottom. Yeah, this one is not open yet, other than that hole in the bottom. So let's just continue with that hole in the bottom, shall we? Oh, and it looks like everything is individually wrapped. There's a lovely little note from Claire and Paul, who are obviously the proprietors of the Fibre Arts Shed. So I got 4 colourways from here as well. This is the first one. I think this one was one Claire actually called me, wasn't sure that they had this one in stock, but then she was able to find some. So this one I think is called Berries and Cream. So it's kind of almost like these are neps through there. It's not actually dyed. They're like neps that have kind of been combed into the fibre. Yes, that was the Berries and Cream. They do have labels on them. I didn't actually notice. So there you go. Yeah, Fibre Arts Shed. This one, as it says, is called Hydra. So these were all blends of different fibres, because I don't tend to, this is merino silk as well, I don't tend to spin anything that's usually one colour. I do like to have a little bit of interest in the fibre that I'm spinning. This one's pretty. This one is called Berry Burst. I really like that. That's really cool. This is like giving me a little bit of my Blazing Berries colourway kind of vibe, like that hot pink with like the bits of sort of orangey kind of purpley bits. Yeah, that's kind of giving me Blazing Berries kind of vibes. And finally, this one is called Libra, and I had to get that because I am a Libra. I was born on the 10th of October, so I am right in there. Not that I put a lot of stock in star signs, but they're always a bit of fun to have a look at. So this one is called Libra. So again, we've got the yellows and pinks and orange. So that is my new colour obsession, is pink and orange. But that's kind of all I had for today. I thought I would share with you my fibre purchases, my book purchases, and what I've been working on. So, but yeah, if you have any suggestions, if you would like to see me spin things in a certain way, where you would like me to see, where you would like to see my Tour de Fleece daily spinning, anything that you would like to see, and don't remind me about my weekend to sweater video. It is coming. I was able to, with my Advent sales and my recent sales, I was actually able to get a relatively cheap gaming PC laptop that I can now edit things properly, because my MacBook is far too slow. It just can't handle it anymore. So I am now able to edit a bit more efficiently on my new laptop. So that is good. So hopefully we'll be seeing some videos coming down the pipe relatively soon. I am still working on my egg hunt video. That has been that's a long process, because there's 16 different eggs that I needed to find, and I think I'm through doing the editing for the first one, because I've got so many tracks going. It's a lot more advanced than my regular videos, shall we say. So yeah, I am working on things. They are happening, but I do have other things that need my attention as well. So my YouTube channel is not a moneymaker. So I need to focus on the shop and doing things like that with my yarn. So things do come up here as often as I can get them. So I hope you understand, and I thank you for your understanding. But I think for now I will probably sign off, because this is probably going to be a relatively long one, and it's probably going to need quite a bit of editing. But thank you for hanging around if you stuck in this far. I would love it if you would give this video a like, and if you are not subscribed, if you could give me a subscribe, it makes a huge difference. And I get really excited every time I see my subscriber count go up. I have a little happy dance. And yeah, just tell me something down in the comments. Let me know what you're working on, what you'd like to see me share, all that sort of thing. And I guess without blathering on too much longer, I'd like to wish you happy knitting, happy crafting, and I hope you are all well, and I will see you in the next one. So take care. Bye.
Yeah.